As you can see, I have just received my full-scale Batman replica props from NECA. However, just by holding the boxes, I know we have a problem here. So stay tuned for my thoughts on these and what I think of the latest release of figures from McFarlane's Batman Retro series. Welcome back, and let me first of all apologise for my appearance and sound. As you can tell, I am not at all well, but I will soldier on. Now, also as well, stay tuned to the end and I will give you my thoughts on the latest McFarlane figures. But in the meantime, these just arrived. Now, I'm going to be honest here, I completely forgot about these. I actually pre-ordered these when I was in Thailand back in the summer, and I must have clicked on ship when available, because normally from Big Bad Toy Store I use the pile of loot, but on Friday I got an email saying your items have been shipped. They came on Monday, so that was fantastic service from Big Bad Toy Store, because normally they take 10-12 days to arrive. But we have what NECA are calling the transmitter replica, but we all know this to be the Bat Radio. We have Bat Cuffs, correctly named. And last of all, we have Batgirl's, let me see this, Batgirl walkie-talkie replica. Again, it's a Bat Radio that Batgirl used. But, as I said in the introduction there, I can tell that these are not going to be good, simply because there is absolutely no weight to these boxes. These are, without doubt, the lightest boxes I have had regarding a toy in many a year. There is absolutely no substance to these boxes, and that to me sounds like a plastic chain rattling. But in terms of the boxes, I know that a lot of people are fans of boxes. I'm not, but I'll give you my thoughts very quickly. It looks okay. It does have the sort of classic 60s spiral thing going on there, and this one does say button activated LED light and both antenna extend. But they do say this one comes with batteries, which is nice, but it also does say somewhere that it does not make sound, so we'll see what that looks like very shortly. These are the Bat Cuffs. Clearly we have a plastic chain, and it does say both cuffs open and close shut, so they can be used if that is your thing, I guess. And last of all, Batgirl's Bat Radio. Clearly it's a very frilly type thing, so we'll see what that looks like out of the package, because I think this type of thing could get badly crushed when it's sitting in the box, but we'll see. And this one, antenna extends. No mention of batteries on this, so I'm guessing the only sort of battery activated item is the Bat Radio. Now, as I said earlier, I forgot all about these, and I had to check on my Big Bad Toy Store account to see how much these cost, and I wrote it down here. So I was appalled to see that each of these items was $36. Already I can tell this is an absolute rip-off, especially when you compare it to something like the Playmates Star Trek replicas. These are currently available for about $25 on Amazon. You know what, I'll leave a link to these in the description. It's an affiliate link, so should you wish to purchase them from that link, it will of course help this channel. But for 25 bucks, you're getting lights and sounds. With these, it looks like we're only getting a bit of light on the Bat Radio, but without any more waffling on, let's take a look at these out of the package, and I will give you my thoughts. So to kick things off, we have Batgirl's Bat Radio, and with this not having any electronics, we get the box and an inlay. There is no paperwork whatsoever. Now fortunately, the way it's been packaged, let me just put it back in fact, it does sit quite nicely with this holding it in place, so the frills do not get bent over. A problem I have a lot with McFarlane's Batman figures is the capes get crushed in transit, but not the case here. This one is looking as nice as a frilly radio can look. Now it did say the antenna can extend, and that's definitely plasticky, but that's not, so I guess we've got a regular sort of transistor radio antenna, which is rather long. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but it's a long one. But extremely light, absolutely hollow construction. You know, that does extend and retract quite nicely. I did notice on the back they have a fake battery cover, which is rather interesting. And on the side, we do have a dial that just spins and spins and spins, does nothing. And there's a push button spring-loaded on the side, so I guess to give the impression of talking into a walkie-talkie and all that good stuff. Is this worth $36? Absolutely not. This is one of the biggest rip-offs I have ever encountered. At most, this is a $20 item. As I said, hollow construction, extremely lightweight, and to have something like this with this purple frill around your radio, you really do have to be a serious fan of the Batman 66 TV show to want this in your collection. I am indeed one of those fans, but I think this one goes down as one of my biggest regrets in collecting. But there you go. This was Batgirl's frilly Bat Radio. And now for you kinky individuals out there, we have some Bat Cuffs. Now, as with Batgirl's Bat Radio, with this not having any electronics, we get an empty box and a plastic inlay tray. Now, these are entirely made of plastic, extremely lightweight. These will not endure any kind of role playing, if you know what I mean. They open and close by means of a magnet, which does actually close them rather securely. I don't know how well you can see this, but they do snap shut. In terms of do they fit, I think these will do. Yeah, definitely you can chain yourself up if you so wish, but as I said, with the chain being made of plastic, these will not endure any sort of fetish type activities. Again, the $36 price point absolutely disgusts me on these. This at most is worth 15 bucks, and even that's pushing it. There's just nothing to them, and they're going to look okay as part of a Batman display, I guess. But if you were, you know, buying these to maybe do some role play or cosplay, I should have said. Why am I thinking about role playing? But anyway, cosplay, you could certainly hang them from your utility belt, but I would not be putting these on any prisoners, because as I said, the construction is incredibly flimsy and absolutely not worth the asking price of 36 bucks. But there you go, we have ourselves some Bat Cuffs. And finally, I've left what I believe to be the best till last, and that is the Bat Radio. Now, again, this one does have electronics, but the box has no paperwork whatsoever and a simple inlay tray. And there was a small plastic tab to be removed to allow the batteries to work. So we do have a functioning light. Now, it says on the back here, both antenna extend and retract manually. So sadly, they're not joined, so you have to raise one and then raise the other, and they just sort of push down back into place. These feel incredibly fragile, so be careful when doing that. It looks okay. It looks like a Bat Radio, but it's incredibly light, ridiculously light, in fact. And again, mostly hollow construction, but it does have a feature, and that is this whole screen lights up by pressing this button. So push it once to engage and push it down again to disengage. It is that simple. It's incredible to think that this is costing 36 bucks for the opportunity to raise and lower these antenna manually and press one button for what is one simple light bulb, where for 25 bucks Playmates are giving you a really well-made Star Trek communicator complete with sounds and lights and audio clips from the show. They could have had a soundboard on this quite easily, had a few back and forth with Batman and Robin, but instead we get one little light. That is it. There's not even a clip to hang it on your belt if you so wished. These are clearly meant for the hardcore fans who want to put them on display and basically look at them, because there's no play value here. They're very fragile and for the most part an absolute waste of money in my opinion. So as a big fan of the 1966 Batman TV show, it's my opinion that these are not worth buying. So if you are looking at these and thinking about it, my advice is don't. But stay tuned, and I will give you my thoughts on the latest announcement from McFarlane regarding their Batman Retro Figure series. Now, yesterday McFarlane announced the latest wave of figures in their Batman Retro series, and at first I was extremely excited because I saw it on social media and looking at my phone, and from the tiny picture I saw, I thought I was looking at Alfred. Of course, that is in fact Commissioner Gordon. We'll get to that shortly. So this new wave of figures is focusing on the 1977 animated series. So with that in mind, this will not be a series of figures that I will be pursuing, because I am strictly Batman 66, the classic TV show. That's where my focus lies. But I'll give you my thoughts on these in 1 second. But I think we can now say with pretty much 99.9% certainty that the 66 classic TV line of figures is now over, which is hugely disappointing, especially the fact that we have play sets that we cannot properly populate. So for example, we have the Wayne Manor Library play set, but we don't have the Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne figures to put in there, even though they have the head sculpts, because we had the cowless Batman and the maskless Robin. All we need are civilian bodies with those heads and we're good to go. And Alfred would be nice, of course, to add into that playset, but it's looking as if that part of the line is now over, and going forward they're going to focus now on animated series. Now these figures, I think we can safely say that Batman and Robin are the same bodies as we've had a million times before, but obviously slightly different head sculpts. I believe the Joker's body is the same body, different head sculpt. Same with Riddler, I would imagine. Batgirl could be a new sculpt, and obviously Commissioner Gordon is an entirely new sculpt. And again, that body with an Alfred head is exactly what we need. So maybe there's some way of customizing this figure, I'm not sure. Someone can let me know. But all in all, this does pretty much signal the end of the classic TV part of McFarlane's Batman Retro series, which is incredibly disappointing, but I am somewhat relieved that I will not be pursuing these, so I don't have to worry about spending $108 to get these 6 figures. So every cloud and all that. So those are my thoughts on the NECA's props, not good, don't buy them, and McFarlane's latest wave of Batman figures. All in all, I guess you might say this was a rather negative video. It is what it is, I'm just being honest. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, please share the video, make sure you're subscribed, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.